Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Line Plans. How are you today? So today, as you can tell by the title, we're doing a little plan with me. This is going to be in my Hobonichi Weeks for the week of June the 5th all the way up to the 11th, but we're doing it a little bit differently today. And I don't know how well this is going to work out, so you're going to discover it in real time with me. It might be an absolute epic fail, so I'm just kind of warning you right now. Don't expect too much from this video, but that's kind of half the fun. Today, I thought that what we would do is use inspiration and almost like do a complete copycat of really popular creators. So I'm literally going to plan like one of your favorite popular creators. So this spread will likely not look almost anything like the way that I would actually create my spreads. It will slightly differ. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because I wanted to kind of challenge myself and see if I could actually mimic the planning style and the journaling style of famous creators. So for today, I thought that I would choose none other than Helen from Coffee Monsterz Co. So I do have a little inspiration here. This is one of her spreads. Here is a little snapshot of her Hobonichi Weeks. If you look on her Instagram, you can also find it. I just kind of have this as reference. But basically the way that her spread is set up is that this first quarter column is set up as a mood tracker. This is her events. This is her meal tracker to track what she eats. And then in the middle section, the top is still set up as priorities, but it's a little bit more condensed. The middle is kind of set up as whatever she wants. And so it's sort of like free writing. So I will still adjust. So this will be basically just my planning style, but I still have to actually enter in all the things that I would normally keep track of within my weeks. It's just I might kind of make it look a little bit, be a bit more closer to how her spread looks like. So hopefully that makes sense. But nevertheless, if you're brand new here, consider subscribing because, you know, we do stuff like this all the time. Do we? I don't know. Consider subscribing though if you're not yet already. We chat a couple of times a week here and we talk about anything and everything, minimalist planning, journaling, all of the things, stationery, fountain pens. So if you love all of those things and books, then definitely stay tuned because you would probably really enjoy it here. So I know that Helen uses obviously her emojis, which I do have a few of them, but I recently picked up like a huge order actually from, I think it's from Johan Studio. It's Johan Studio, so it's similar to the emojis. Hopefully this actually, you can see it. So it's this little girl, which I'm like in love with right now. So in one of her spreads here, you can see, on this one you can, but when she has a Hobonichi Weeks spread, okay, this would be a good example of it, where she has sort of a washi tape all across the bottom. She does have some, I don't know what working times is. But yeah, she does have like a little tracker at the top. Then she has some free writing and more free writing. So there's a lot of writing, which I personally don't mind. So I thought that for washi, I would actually use this girl. I'm going to put some music on so that I can make sure that this video is not like 1,000 hours long. So just enjoy the music and let's just dive in. Are we really diving in? I don't know. It makes sense when I say it. So here's the thing. When you have a washi tape that is completely dedicated to hair and hairstyles, you just go for it and you don't ask questions, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to admit it, at this point, I don't really have a particular strategy or a direction. The pen that I'm using is actually a Sarasa 0.4. It's in black. For some reason, it wouldn't actually, it says Sarasa dry, so hopefully that helps you guys out. It wouldn't focus on the camera. That's just part of life at this point. Anyway, my goal is really to just set up that entire left side of the column into two different sections. One will be the left side of the column, which is a shorter one, and then the right side of that same column will be a little bit, I'm going to give myself a little bit more space. Now for the right hand side, I actually decided to go with a pencil so that it's not so strong, it's not so obnoxious, and I think that it turned out pretty well. Now we're moving on to just using my fountain pens, because honestly it would feel weird not using a fountain pen, and I know that Helen also loves doing hand lettering with her fountain pens. Obviously I'm not as skilled, but that's okay. This is kind of part of that practice to just keep on practicing.
You don't know how much I want you. Just looking at you makes my...
Now this is usually the point where I would actually just use my stencil and add in the 3 top priorities. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just going to use this section as a tracker, which is what she had done originally with her spread. So we're going to be tracking working out, reading, I believe it's journaling, and illustration. So those are the main things that I generally try to do my best to track. Sometimes it really doesn't work out, but that's okay. Again, it's kind of part of the practice.
Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed.
Now the 2 little dots are really just set up to kind of divide the actual page. Again, this is her spread was very simplistic, and it was very much focused on more on the writing than on the decoration, but here we are. Okay, so for decoration, I thought that we would use a combination of a few things. Obviously, we can use this. I do have a couple of sticker sheets from them, but then I also have some Coffee Monsterz Co stickers, which we can also try to add, as well as some Hubman and Chop Girl. So let's see what we can kind of, and I still have a bunch of leftovers from Ohana Story. I was so excited when I received this entire sticker sheet, and I was really hoping to just kind of use it somewhere where it doesn't take over the spread. It keeps it very minimal, but at the same time we can kind of keep the spread functional. I'm not sure if I have actually succeeded at that goal, but you will be able to see it at the very end. Now originally Helen was using that entire left-hand column to track moods. Honestly, I was just kind of using it to just place down some stickers, and then I can kind of write down at least a few words about that day of what kind of stood out for me. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this, but it felt really lovely to just use up the same size little emojis. It felt really cohesive and consistent with the entire spread. So for that reason, to me, it felt really right, so it was a success. By the way, this is a fantastic practice if you find yourself sometimes being sort of in a planner rut, or you have that itch about midway through the year where you really want to either switch your entire system up, or you get into a different planner, or just ditch your current planner. Sometimes that happens mainly because we keep doing the exact same thing the exact same way, and we're not really switching it up. So while I am absolutely working out of my entire comfort zone, I do have to say that looking back and giving myself creative freedom to just kind of mimic someone else's style in design has kind of given me a sense of freedom, that it's okay if my spread here for this week does not mimic the way my week last week looked like. So hopefully that makes sense. I generally don't use this much decor. If you look back on any of my previous Plan With Me videos, I generally don't have this much decor stickers on the left hand side of the page, but it's all together, it's kind of coming together, which I'm really happy with. So let's just keep going. Now for actually adding in most of the tasks and the to-dos, I'm switching my pen completely, and I'm just kind of using my Sarasa to kind of write in all of the appointments and anything that was like relevant and important that's coming up for next week.
My heart is screaming out for you. I want you here with me so that everything will be as good as they were last night.
At this point in the game, I'm trying my best to mimic her handwriting. I don't think I'm doing it with success, but here we are. I know that she stays within her grid, and a lot of the times it's actually smaller than that. I tend to write a little bit smaller than the way that I'm writing here, but it was nice for me to just kind of write a little bit larger. Definitely felt out of my comfort zone, but that's okay. It's we need to push ourselves. At least that's what I'm keep telling myself, and that's what I'm telling you as well. Even though it feels like as I'm editing this, it feels cringy and it just feels weird. It feels weird because it's out of my ordinary. It's not because it's actually bad. A really huge part of me wants to see what I can fit in on those large spaces on the left-hand column of the right-hand side of the page. And I still left enough space for me to write in whatever I need to, but I was also kind of struggling with adding enough decor so that the page doesn't feel so empty. I don't know, like part of me wants to use that entire sticker sheet, and then part of me kind of wants to just pace myself because the left-hand side of the page is so busy. I will be zooming out in a mere moment so you can kind of take a look at exactly what I mean, but for a couple of moments there, I was kind of struggling to just keep a balance of both pages and then not necessarily overwhelm it.
And now I have to get over you again. You said it was the last time, but you keep coming back to show me. Sorry, you have changed now.
Here you're going to see a big close-up of everything that is all finished up. I wanted to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe, do all of the things. And I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.